guys, Candice from Crema Coffee Garage here. Today we're going to be checking out the Breville Precision Brewer. Now, this machine is perfect for home coffee brewers and small offices that are looking for versatility but also automation in their coffee making. Being one of the most versatile coffee batch brewers on the market, it is perfectly balanced between automating large batches of coffee, but also smaller customizable options for a more unique individual brewing experience. So let's start with your filter options, and there's great flexibility in these options. First of all, you've got the standard brew basket. Now, when you're brewing more than 8 cups of coffee, this is the one you're going to want to use, along with a flat bottom paper filter, 10 of which come included when you buy the Breville. However, you could use instead the gold metal mesh permanent filter basket. The only difference you will notice between these two types of filters in terms of the taste of your coffee is that the paper filter will catch more of what we would call fines, which is essentially sediment, in the coffee than what the permanent filter would. However, if you're brewing between 2 to 8 cups, then you'll need to use the permanent cone filter attachment along with a cone paper filter. Now, moving down to the carafe, the Breville is quite unique in that it enables the lid to stay on during the brewing and extraction. This ensures that there's very limited heat loss when travelling down to the thermal carafe. The thermal carafe, it's a welcome addition, especially in larger families or office situations where you're wanting to keep that coffee hot for long periods of time. And what's really cool is that the brewer will actually show you how long it's been since this last batch was brewed with a timer on the front. Now, the water tank lives on the side here, and because of the great attention to detail that Breville have put into its design, it's very self-explanatory and it's pretty hard to get wrong, which I love. Now, all the brew types are listed here on the side, along with their millage. You simply need to follow the recipe, and once pressing start, the Precision Brewer will pull the water from the tank, push it through the shower head, and then we'll begin the brewing. So, speaking of our different brew types, the variety of the menu options is beyond any other brewer that we're yet to see. You've got fast, gold, strong, over ice, my brew, cold brew, and even pour over. Some of these are quite self-explanatory, like fast and strong, and you can go into the specifics of what the Precision Brewer does in these settings in the manual if you like. And just on a side note, it's really well written, the manual. It's really easy to understand, so that's a great bonus. However, I want to tell you briefly about some of the lesser known brew types. So if we take a look at our menu, our LCD screen here, I'm going to go down to the second one, which is gold. The gold mode was designed by Breville to meet the SCA's rigorous technical requirements in regards to brewing temperature, bloom time, and also the flow rate. So this mode is to be used only with the cone filter basket, but it's a surefire way to get a beautiful tasting coffee every time. Next down the list, we're going to look at over ice. Now, this has been designed for you to create a stronger, more concentrated brew that's going to eventually be poured over ice and then drunk. Now, I do recommend reading the tips in the manual though, because there are a couple of steps in between that should be followed so as not to mess with the end result. Now, this is a great option if you're wanting to make iced coffee, but you just don't have the turnaround time to make a cold brew. So speaking of cold brew, the Breville offers that as well. You simply put your ground coffee into the standard filter basket along with the flat bottom paper filter, fill your water to the cold brew mark on the side here, and press start. The brewer will pull the water from the tank in to be with the coffee, and it will sit there anywhere between 4 to 14 hours. Now, at Crema, we recommend 8 hours for a 1 part coffee to 4 parts water ratio recipe. Once the time has expired, the brewer will automatically dispense the coffee into your carafe below. So let's talk about one that's really exciting for me, and that's the pour over. The Breville actually comes with a pour over adapter kit, meaning you're able to perform a more automated version of a process that would normally require great attention to detail and time. You just need to make sure that you attach the mount adapter for your dripper, replace your carafe with your cup or server, and swap over the pour over shower head. So something worth noting is that the standard shower head would have 4 holes, whereas the pour over shower head has only 3. The larger quantity in the holes allows for greater dispersion of the water and therefore greater saturation of the coffee grounds in certain brew types. Whereas for a pour over, we're calling for a greater precision, and hence why the less amount of holes works better in this brew type. Moving on to the last brew type, and that is My Brew. My Brew is the ultimate brew type for our coffee fanatics out there, as it gives you complete control over your brewing. You're given the ability to customize your water temperature, your bloom time, and your flow rate. Now, for those of you asking yourself, why would this make a difference? In a nutshell, these three variables can make a monumental difference to the flavour of your coffee. Each individual bean origin will perform differently under different variables of these three elements. So this is the setting for you if you're looking to tweak and perfect your coffee brewing. However, that is also the reason why there is the gold setting for those just wanting to make a delicious coffee off the bat every time. So to wrap up, the Breville Precision Brewer offers up exactly what its name would suggest and more. Its ability to make sizable batches of coffee in a very short period of time whilst maintaining its heat in the thermal carafe makes it a perfect fit for a coffee-loving office or even perhaps a cafe. However, the fact that it offers up so many different brew types for a varying of quantities, from the individual all the way up to 12 cups, means it's going to fit in just about anywhere. Let us know what you thought about the Breville Precision Brewer and how it compares to other batch brewers that you know about or other batch brewers that are out there on the market. So don't forget to subscribe while you're here and hit that notification bell so you hear about any new content that we release ASAP. And don't forget to jump onto social media and give us a like and a follow on Facebook and on Instagram because you know you want to. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks, guys.